Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to my review of the finale, episode 24 of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. And man, how it ends for most of the episode, it was just awesome. I gotta say right now, it was awesome. It was epic, and now I'm looking forward to the second season. Now clearly there is a second season now, and I'm very excited about it. I am happy now, and now I can just relax a bit because. For quite some time, I was worried about we were going to get a second season, but now we are, and what we have witnessed, I'm really glad for a second season's happening now, and I'm really excited for it now. Man, I'm just this finale was just awesome. It was epic, and it showed up more on how Sesshomaru was more badass and more powerful. And there was a lot going on in this episode, and I would say right now the fight in this episode was easily the best fight I've seen in this season, hands down. It was so badass, and how the animation for all the whole entire fight sequence, it was just phenomenal. It was well animated, and it was just great, and. And at first, I say I want to say thanks to everyone who's been watching my my reviews of this whole season. Half a year, 6 months has been a long time. Which I've never reviewed a whole season of an anime season before. And I just want to say thanks to everyone, and feel free to go back and watch my reviews and all the episodes of this season. Feel free to, but. I gotta say, it was just really great, really reviewing this whole entire season of Yashahime, because as a big fan, huge fan of Inuyasha, and we've always talked about how a sequel was made, how a sequel would be introduced, and now we did get it, and I'm looking forward to what's gonna progress for the next season. Man, I'm just. What was really exciting, I literally stayed up all night just waiting for this finale, and I was just really, just like this the whole time, just seeing how it's going, and it was just really great. There's a lot going on, and I wish I could put the little thing right here where a lot of people do for videos, how they always put like the episode right here or here, so I can describe show you what I'm describing though. But sadly, I don't have the brain power to know how to put those things right here on the screen for you. So that's why a lot of times I'm just going off looking right here, so describing the episode right there. So because I don't know how to put the episode where it is on the screen, so. Yeah, but maybe eventually I'll learn. But for now, it's just really great, So I just want to thank everybody for just sticking through me reviewing this whole entire season. So it's just been really awesome. Going half a year already since I started reviewing this. It's just been really great. So with all that's said and done, let's talk about the awesome finale of episode 24, Sesshomaru's daughter. Which, for all, Sesshomaru's daughter, the title of it, Sesshomaru's daughter, fitting name, definitely fitting name right there. But how it opens up with the opening of the previous episode when all our people are there. Sesshomaru, Riku, Zero, Kiryu, our trio's there, and then when Kiryu he just starts descend down, and. Then immediately Kilala comes in, picks up her trio, and flies them out of there. Well, from a distance, and saying that there's so much bloodlust in the air, there's so much demon energy there, and saying that he looks defenseless, but Kirimaru is really not, because he's always he's not really that defenseless. But and he starts apologizing to Sesshomaru, saying I'm sorry for what happened. Apologize for the Tenseiga. Oh, you can forgive me, and Zero's like, why? I was like, why are you doing that? And he's saying, you've gone too far, sister. And Sesshomaru's like, that's not necessary. I have no attachment to the Tenseiga. Which I think he still does have some attachment to the Tenseiga because after sometimes it's helped him out, and especially in the past of the show of Inuyasha, and how first of all it was a gift from his father, which of course that started the whole thing. He was so jealous of Inuyasha because he got the Tenseiga and he got the Tenseiga and Tenseiga, yeah. And he had to let go of that jealousy, of that grudge he had of that. So that's how he got the Bakasai in the first place. But the Tenseiga has helped him out, a couple of times, like when he helped out Rin, and of course when he revived that otter demon for his kid. But I think he's still putting that at the side of that tough guy thing, like, oh, I don't need this. I have no attachment to it. I still think he did have some attachment to it. So, but being being the tough guy as usual. And of course, the sword is broken, just like how with Toa's sword was. And it says, "Oh, I have the Bakasai, it'll be enough." And Zero saying, "Will you cut me again?" And you do that, Rin will die again. Well, not again. Well, she will die though. And we see Rin inside the tree still, and we see her crying. And the dog's like, "Why are you crying? Why are you so sad?" So you're seeing Rin cry. And then it shows like any more of that will only make Rin sorrowful. Which, yeah, because she's been trapped inside this tree for a long time, so didn't really watch her daughters grow and spend time with her. So, but that I say that as very sorrowful. So he goes at. I think he was gonna strike at Zero, but then Kirimaru blocked it. I thought he was going after Kirimaru. But I think he was going after Zero when he saw his eye go wild like this. I think he just defended her, and he's asking you why didn't you chase after Aku's pinwheel, and he said he refused, and Kirimaru was telling Zero, that human girl was no longer acts as your shield. Saying step aside, and someone say step aside, Kirimaru, and Zero is just more pitiful. And Kirimaru was trying to do is to protect her, she was doing her best to protect him. Start my words again. Doing her best to protect him, and as I already painted my charity with ingratitude, and he's like, how pathetic. So yeah, as I say, he's just he's been sick of how she's been treating him. So she didn't need to do that in the first place. And it's like he puts her aside this big, somewhat of a wall barrier or something like that. And then he's like, your vain wish is some worthless orb which has brought you dishonor. And then all of a sudden, Kirimaru, he takes all the rainbow pearls, he just scatters them out. He just scatters them, just like how the Shikan jewel got broken to pieces and scattered out, similar to that. And Toa's saying, I guess saying to the other two, he's like, I guess you two still want to keep them. And now Zero is now pissed, saying we should sever our ties, fight by me. We're no longer brother and sister. We are total strangers. And he said that the rainbow pearls were my tears, and even though they're scattered, we'll find them away. So she uses like her web thing, and she just goes and basically Spider-Man's away from Kirimaru. That's basically it. That's basically what it is. She's basically just Spider-Man's away from everyone. And then Riku goes and stabs Kirimaru, and then she is saying that well, basically he still has her alliance or royalty to Zero, so he flicks his earring and then he disappears. And now Sesshomaru is going to leave, and then it's like, he's asking, what about the girls? And Sesshomaru's saying it's a rite of courage and cowardice, just like how he said before. So then he goes and flies away. basically, saying that, these girls, they need to learn how to, for survival, learn how to do the stuff on their own, not relying on him and everyone or anyone else. So they have to make something of themselves. And which that's basically what he was saying. That's why. And then Kirimaru saying, "I'm quite in an irritable mood today," and saying that, of course, he's still being, an honorable person, like he was, what we heard him say before. He's like, if you were drawn, I would have let you escape. So he's still being sort of that honorable person, like how he still is. But then he throws away his mask, and he's like, if you're gonna face me, I will not hold back this time. And we see his face fully, and we still see that. So you see, like, his right eye is still perfectly fine. We were thinking that maybe something happened to him from before, but no, his white. That's why he wore the mask, covered up, obviously. But his right eye is perfectly fine. And this whole from then on, this whole entire fight has been phenomenal. It was just epic, and it was well animated. With everything just went together. I love this. This is easily hands down the best fight of this whole entire season. And everyone just going back and forth, and showing that Kirimaru is just a total badass. He's just how he deflects the Cyclone Burst, and Sesshomaru score to swallows like it's nothing, and then Moro uses her Crimson Dragon Wave, and Kirimaru makes this circle shield and sends it right back to her. And then Morohashi sends her using her Crimson Backlash Wave to go right back at him. And then he uses his Blasting Barrage, which how it opens up like sort of like a small Mado, but then all this burst of things like sort of like an adamant barrage type of thing just bursts out of it, and then just it was heading back towards her. And then Sesshomaru uses her Cyclone Burst to push Moroha out of the way to protect her. And then Sesshomaru uses her Blood Blade to like transfer into her Naginata. And he's saying that Kirimaru is saying if you haven't depended on those pearls, your powers would have manifested properly. And then Moro launches her Heavenly Arrow Barrage, and Kirimaru is saying, when you're using your spirit powers, a Rainbow Pearl only gets in your way. And then he sends a Moro Flame, but Kirimaru catches her. And now, and we cut to since he says, "I challenge you, girl." Since they fired back at him, now it's his turn to fire back at them. And then we cut to Todesai. Todesai riding on his cow Momo, and Jockin's there. Tagging along, and saying they gotta hurry, and saying that the Todesai saying that they may not make it in time. And then they say why. And then he's talking about this the birth of the heavenly sword called Yukari no Takakuri. I think it was like another polar opposite, because I think there was like that hell sword from, but to the Toga had from before. I think from the third movie. There was some kind of hellish sword from before. So now we're getting. I forget though. We had some hellish sword like that before. I think it was referring to the third movie, that evil sword. But here you're saying to talk about the birth of a heavenly sword. Okay, curious about that. But we'll have to wait to see how it goes in the second season, though. And then Toa is blocked by Kirimaru by his sword, and when Sesshomaru tries to go from above, Kirimaru just goes and catches him with his two fingers. Shows that Kirimaru, he's a total badass. He's not holding back on anything. He's just flicks her back, and just. I mean, this is. I'm watching this. I'm watching this. I'm like, this is so great, I just need to take a breath for a second because I'm just getting so excited just talking about this. And then, Toa stabs Kiryumaru right in the same place that Riku stabbed him, and he's like surprised, like, I suppose I left my guard down just a little bit. And he's like, it shows that he does, he's not high and mighty. He does let his guard down a bit, and then Sessuna comes in, tries to swing at it a bit, and then Kiryumaru, Sessuna uses her blood blade and leaves a second mark on Kiryumaru's face, right in the same place where Toa did. And Benji gets a total enraged by that, and he uses his sword. He breaks her Naginata, and then I was like, oh man. He cuts Setsuna. Basically, it doesn't cut her completely in half. Just cuts her right down the middle of her body. And then we get this not nice bonding moment. Finally with Toa and Setsuna. Setsuna smiling, saying, Toa, say I'm sorry, and saying that they always do good together, and saying that she won't die. She's just getting a little sleepy. She's gonna take a nap. And we finally hear her say, "I'm sorry, sis." So the first time Sessuna called Toa sis, finally calling her as a sister. So we finally get to hear that, finally calling her sis, and holding each other's hands, and saying she's going to go to sleep. And we see the dream butterfly fly, and then saying good night. And then Toa is recalling that moment back in the first episode, saying that's why that moment, did I let go of her hand? Recalling back from the first episode when they first got separated from each other. Did I let go of her hand? Now, I think I said before in the previous discussion, it looked like Sessuna got badly damaged. Oh, but okay, so it indicates that she did die though. But do you think she's gonna stay? You think that she's gonna stay dead? Do I think she's gonna stay dead? No. But which leads into the second season, she won't be. I highly hope that she's not gonna stay dead. It's like the same thing with what I talked about with 044 from the previous episode. It looked like she was gonna die, but it's meant to fool us. Like, okay, she didn't. Well, she technically temporarily did, but then Sesshomaru brought her back, right? Here, Sesshomaru does though, but is she gonna stay dead? No. Okay, so technically she did die in this because, like I said, they're always trying to do this just to fool us. It's like, oh, has that really happened? Okay, technically she did, but she's not gonna stay dead because with our fans who like Setsuna, she's not gonna stay dead for long. That's why we got into the second season for. And back when Kiryumaru was saying this is truly regrettable. If we had Sesshomaru's Tenseiga, we could have brought her back. Which I think he does feel a little bit bad because he just got too pissed off and she just went berserk on that during that moment. And he's saying it was a regrettable thing. And then Toa, she just loses. She screams, And then Moroha jumps in her Beniyasha form. But here she is much more saying that she is now much more calm now. She's now able to control it now. After applying the ruse, she's able to control it. She's able to use it for a lot longer than usual, which is nice because first of all, I think because they're on the same land where Toga died, so I think that has some hand in it though. But seeing that Moroha is now more calm instead of going full on rage when she applies her rouge, and now she's able to hold it for much more longer, like 30 seconds or something. That is nice to see, seeing her like that, basically. Look at how her demon form is, not going full on berserk, but talking very calmly, right? So this is probably the true Beniyasha power that she says. and then also this is a cool shot where she manifests like the flame behind her and manifests in the form of Toga, the human form of Toga. And because that's what Kirimaru says, this is a place where he died, right? And then what I talk about first, what I've been waiting for is now Toa says Moroha she manifests like Toga in his human form, right? Now Toa he manifests it as Toga in his dog demon form now, which is kind of cool to see. And now she is able to get apply a double dragon energy from her blade. Because before it was only one, and now she has two, saying, I will avenge Setsuna. How dare you kill my Setsuna. And what I've been waiting for, we see her demon form. And Toa looks, in her demon form, she looks badass. She gets the crescent moon symbol on her eyes turn red. Not full on red like Inuyasha though, but her eyes does turn red, and her hair grows up much longer than usual. Basically, looking and with also including the markings on her face as well, she became her dad. So Moroha, who basically became at her Beniyasha form, basically becoming her dad, and now Setsuna, not Setsuna, getting my names confused now. I'm too excited. I'm just making mistakes here. Toa now becomes her father now. And that was that. And her demon form, she looks badass, really do. Yeah, because I'm sure me and some other people were asking when are we going to see Toa in her demon form. Because we got her in her human form with the new moon twice. When are we going to see her in her demon form? I'm sure a lot of people were asking that. And yeah, we finally got, and she looks great. He's like Kirimaru, he is my prey now. And now the two children of Inuyasha and Sesshomaru stand together, in their demon forms. It looks totally awesome, especially each one is manufacturing Toga in a different way, one in human form, and the other one in his dog demon form. Which this looks great, and now they all go charging at him. They all go send their full attacks on, double attacking him, and Kirimaru, he unleashes his true demon power. He changes his appearance a little bit, something on a thing on his arm. He gets horns and all that, and even all that, and he's deflecting the same way how he did before, and he's telling Toa that Sesshomaru created the Aguzu Dragon Wave, and now, since you made it two heads, this is your technique now. You made your own technique without an inherited thing from your father. Now you call this the twin Arizuri, I mispronounced the name, Arizuri Dragon Wave. And he's deflecting it, and this creates this big sort of nuclear explosion. Hence, we saw in the preview why that crater was there. Well, that's because of the reason. Because something epic like this happened. All that created this big, huge crater in the middle of the ground. And we see that Toa, she's now able to create a barrier which protected her and her sister. And Kirimaru is still standing there saying, "Oh, that one stings." So yeah, all that, and he's still standing like a badass. and then Kirimaru creates this thing where they're how the atmosphere of the Meru Zangetsu is. How it shows a galaxy type of thing inside the Meru Zangetsu. Well, Kirimaru created this. It looks like they're in they're not in the Meru Zangetsu, but it's the atmosphere that resembles it. So they're in that, and they're both fighting each other more, but Toa and Moroha, they're using more of their double tag team, and it was great seeing them, like I said, both in their demon forms, double attacking Kirimaru, and the big manufacturers got more bigger, and it was just this whole thing was just awesome. And Moroha's attack like really breaks a moon apart, and Kirimaru, he's still taking it and still holding off on his own. And Toa saying, "I'll take your," tries to take his demon energy, and although it was way too much for her, so she goes back into her how she usually looks. So yeah, it was all too much for her, so she goes back the way she is. And same thing with Moroha. They both fall down, and now we see as the credits are going, Kirimaru, he's still standing there like probably all exhausted, but Kirimaru is still standing. All that effort, and he's still standing like a badass. So this shows how powerful he is, and he's saying that this is the I haven't fought like this since the battle with the Great Dog Demon. And unfortunately, it must end in such a way because they both exhaust each other, and like I said before, he wants to fight them when they're at their best, not when they're weak and injured and all that. Like how he did with what he said about Toga. And then he goes and says, "Princess Half Demon, next time we will meet. And since in Setsuna, I shall carve my name onto my heart. I will never forget you." And then he goes up and flies away, and then it starts raining, and then Kilala comes back. So if you say that, Moroha saying, "I'm sorry, Setsuna, looks like we lost." And Toa, approaching Setsuna, says, "I'm so sorry." And he's saying, and now she's saying how she was reflecting from before, and it was like the world is, how she said it in the first 2 episodes, saying how the world is full of the weak. Only ones who could protect, only ones who couldn't protect what they wanted to protect the most. So that's basically what she was saying in the first film, and so that's why you called me. And then Sesshomaru approaches her, and well, of course, it's being silent for the moment. Then he gives the broken Tenseiga to Toa, and the first time Sesshomaru calls his daughter by her name for the first time. He's like, "Will you try using this, Toa?" So the first time he calls her by her name for the first time. So it's like, "Will you try to using this, Toa?" Basically because, and well, of course, and after that he leaves after that, of course. After that he leaves because why would he would give that to her because since her sword, she can manufacture a demon blade from her broken sword. I do believe that he gave it to her because now she can probably manifest the Tenseiga from a broken blade to make it like a blade of her own, So that's why he gave it to her. But it was fine. It was cool that he finally called her by her name. And then it actually ends, and you get what I noticed. You do get a similarity comparison here. How it ends with shows of Setsuna, lying, with his lying there with a smile on her face. I do see the way it's shot right there. It kind of it is like the same thing with the first time we see Kikyo when she died. And also reflecting from the first episode of Inuyasha, when Kikyo died, when she was being burned along with the Shikon Jewel, but she died, with a sadness on her face. But here, it's the same, and she was on fire as well, being burned though, right? But here, it's like the polar opposite. With Setsuna, it's raining, and she's there now, being with a smile on her face. compared to what Kikyo's, because basically Kikyo, she died basically with sadness and hatred for Inuyasha and all that. Here with Setsuna, here she died peaceful with a smile on her face, but with being with her sister. So you get a nice comparison, a complete polar opposite comparison between Setsuna death right there, and with Kikyo, how she was. So yeah, man, I give this this finale 2 thumbs up. It was awesome. It was epic. I think I'll put this with a review of this episode. Epic finale. That's what it was, an epic finale. Now, as I said before, everything was just great about it. This whole entire fight for most of this whole entire episode, it was great. It was well animated for what it was made for. Easily the best fight of the whole entire season. Everyone got their badass moments. Especially Kirimaru, he was a total badass, because deflected most of their attacks like it was nothing, and even with their best attacks, their full demon attacks, she still came out hardly without a scratch, only saying it stings. So, although he did get a sister did leave another mark on his face, though. But and then with Moroha and her Beniyasha form, now she's like more in control now. Instead of going full on berserk, and she lasted much more longer than she does before in her demon form, Beniyasha form still, but I'm just calling that. And then finally seeing Toa in her demon form, which a lot of us were longing to see, and how the way she looked was total badass. Like I said, with her eyes red, not full on red eyes, but her pupils, you could say, red eyes. And her hair growing long, much more longer, looking more like her dad with the crescent moon, the markings, and all that stuff. Looking definitely more like her dad, and basically the same thing with Moroha with Inuyasha with her dad. And how each was cool to see each one manufacture like a resemblance of Toga, like Moroha because since she's more human, that's why she manifested the human form of Toga. Then with Toa, Toga in his demon form, dog demon form. That was cool to see, and even both of them just going at each other, their demon forms, and it was just so freaking epic, and it was awesome. Yeah, it was Toa. Setsuna. Yeah, she is now dead though, but she's not gonna stay dead for long. Now I know that because people who are like Setsuna, and then plus why Sesshomaru gave the Tenseiga, the broken Tenseiga to Toa, since she can manifest a blade like he did with her sword, since maybe she can want to heal her. And it was also saying after it was all done, it was saying the season premiere, season 2 production is confirmed, and we see a picture of Toa holding a different type of sword. Maybe it was the sword that Totosai was talking about earlier, the heavenly sword. Maybe they'll be used to maybe revive Setsuna. So yeah, but I want to talk about, but I'm gonna say this for another time. I'm gonna say this for a separate video. What I want to expect in season 2. I'll talk about that in a separate video. What I want to expect in season 2. So hopefully you'll stay tuned for that video as well, because this is I want to talk about what do we want to expect in season 2 of Yashahime. But this episode, this finale, it was great, awesome. There was a whole lot going on. That's why I give this the thumbs up. I would say it is on the verge of being like the best episode I've seen from this season. A lot of great episodes that I enjoyed from this season. Some of them were my favorites. This is easily in my top 5 favorite episodes. Because the whole finale, the whole fight was as awesome. It was as epic, and each of our characters got badass moments, especially from Kirimaru and Toa and Moroha, but we know that Setsuna, for the moments that she had, it was finally he called Toa sis for the first time, acknowledging as her sister. So that was nice to hear finally. And then we see with Sesshomaru, finally calling her daughter by her first name, calling her Toa. We never heard him call that before. So that was nice too. and we'll see a little more of like what Totosai said about that heavenly sword. Or Zero, she got away. Same with Riku. So we're gonna see them more again. Same with Kirimaru, and of course with the 7 rainbow pearls because it got scattered, just like the semblance to the Shikon Jewel did. Yeah. This is such an awesome finale. I was waiting for this. It was worth, to me, it was worth staying up all night waiting for this because I was looking forward to this. I may be dead tired though, but it was all worth it. It was worth it. Like I said, huge fan of Inuyasha. This new show of Yashahime, it was great. It was the first time for me reviewing this whole season for half a year now, so I can't believe it's been that long. But I just want to say thanks to everybody for sticking with me for reviewing this whole entire season, which I've never done before. So I've never reviewed the whole season like this, talking about each review especially because I love Inuyasha. I was looking forward to a sequel to this for a long time. We finally got it, and how it ended, it was epic and awesomeness. I'm really looking forward to the second season, which I wanted for a while. I didn't, for the way things were going, I didn't think we were gonna have a second season though. But I always said all of us were pushing for a second season. Now we're getting a second season now. But I will talk about what I'll do a separate video saying what do we want from from season 2. I'll definitely get into that. But yeah, I just want to say thanks to everybody for sticking here, for watching my review of the whole entire season. And it's just been a long journey. It has been a journey. It was a great journey to go through because I've never talked about a whole series, a whole season before like this. So yeah, it was worth doing, because I love the franchise a lot, from Inuyasha to the movies and now this, and it was great, but like I said, I'll get to what we want from the second. I'll talk about that in a separate video. What we want in the second season, though. But I just want to talk about this finale. It was just great. A lot of great things happened in this episode, and it was great. So I don't know more because I'm just repeating the same thing. How awesome it was. It was just really great. And like I said to everybody, thanks for sticking through this whole review of this season. So, but yeah, I wish I could put the whole episode right here because a lot of people do that. Which they put the episode right here and they talk about it and. So I don't know how to do that though, so that's why I had to look over here to talk about the episode. So otherwise, I forgot a whole bunch of things. So yeah, but I'll eventually we'll learn how to do this here. So funny thing, I think if I do that, I'll probably get blocked by it because YouTube is so broken and picky. But yet other people can get away with doing the same thing though. But I'm just pointing out. But yeah, thanks for watching, for this big review, another long review of an episode, but the finale of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, great. I would say it's an epic finale. That's all I'll put in the title, epic finale. And after this now, things are just going there's gonna be more updates, more DVD updates, poster updates. And hopefully now I can get to doing more movie reviews, because for the time I've been doing all these reviews of these episodes, I didn't get around to do much more reviews, so hopefully I'll get more reviews done, so now I got this whole series out of the way now, finally. But like I said, I'll get to a separate video talking about the second season, though. But yeah, definitely 2 thumbs up. It was a great finale. Everything about it was just awesome about it, so everything I said about this video, it's awesome, epic, epic finale. Definitely were two thumbs up. Everything about it was great. That's when I found no problems hardly at all. So that's another good sign. But yeah, so thanks for watching my review of the finale of Yashahime, Princess Half Demon. I said before, talk about a separate video. What we need for a second season? What we need in the second season of the show. But stay tuned for more videos and more reviews to come. And thanks for sticking by me for for this whole me reviewing this whole entire season of Yashahime Princess Half Demon. Please leave your comments down below. What do you think of this whole show? What you thought of this whole show? What you thought was good or bad or whatever. I'd like to hear your comments down below on this. And so thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video. And we'll see y'all later.